Right now, a mom is held in jail with a $14 million bond, charged with murder after the Brazoria County Sheriff's Office says she shot her 4 children.
Yes. She was once on the reality show Paternity Court, trying to figure out who the father was of one of her children. This image is per Paternity Court's YouTube channel. Now, this mom is accused of the unthinkable, allegedly shooting 4 of her kids, killing 2 of them. What we're learning about her past from her time on Paternity Court to what she said about parenting just a couple of weeks ago.
Now, the Brazoria County Sheriff's Office says that they initially found out about the shooting through a 911 call. Take a listen to when deputies were first dispatched to the scene.
We need multiple ambulances.
KHU11 got this exclusive video Saturday evening of investigators going in and out of Romelos' home. They were there for around 12 hours, appearing to collect evidence. They also towed away a car from the driveway. Neighbors tell us Romelos lived only at this house for about a few months. Many had not interacted with her at all. Residents are feeling uneasy after learning Romelos is accused of shooting her 4 children and killing 2 of them.
Houston.
We've been burning the midnight oil on this ever since this dropped, right? So I can assure you we're looking into this.
But then we received the court documents that have shown what Romelos allegedly told detectives after they took her into custody. Now, according to these court records, Romelos was asked whether she wanted to continue talking with authorities, and she said yes. Now, at first, when she was asked why she called 911, she said she couldn't talk about it. But when she was asked again about calling 911, she allegedly said, quote, "Instead of them doing it to me, I'm going to do it to them." Then, when the investigator asked, quote, "Do what?" Romelos allegedly said, quote, "Kill them all." Romelos then said she didn't call 911. She allegedly said she called, quote, "the devil." As Romelos continued talking, she said that she was ready to work, which detectives write in the court document that it just didn't make sense. Romelos did allegedly say that she had 4 children and said their names and their ages correctly, but when asked where they were, she allegedly said, quote, "the devil." When asked what she meant by that, she said, quote, "they're dead," and quote, "'cause you can't take me without me taking you."
Now that I think about it, I really blame you motherfucking weak ass hoes for letting these niggas motherfucking think they can play with real bitches.
March 2025. A gas station in Brazoria County, Texas. A 911 operator receives a call that will haunt everyone who hears it. On the other end of the line is Oninda Ramelis. She's calling to report what she just did to her 4 children. Kill them all. Those 3 words came from a mother about her own kids. She tells the operator her children are with the devil, that they're dead to me. When first responders arrive, they find a scene that confirms their worst fears. 2 of Oninda's children are already gone. The other 2 are fighting for their lives, in critical condition. This is a mother who pulled the trigger, who made the call herself, who showed no hesitation in her words. But here's where the story takes a turn that nobody expected. Pull up Oninda Ramelis' Instagram, and you see something completely different. Designer handbags, nights out at clubs, happy hour posts with friends, brunch spots with mimosas and perfect lighting. She's living the baddie life, the aesthetic, the confidence, the success. Scroll through her feed, and you'd think this woman had everything together. But when investigators search her home, they found a different story entirely. Fake IDs, not just 1 or 2, stacks of them. Multiple social security cards, all fraudulent. Oninda wasn't just living a double life on social media. She was running an identity theft operation. Her arrest record wasn't clean either. She'd been picked up before. She even appeared on a reality TV show about paternity drama. Her personal life playing out for cameras. The men she dated, some had serious criminal backgrounds. 2 versions of Oninda Ramelis existed at the same time. The Instagram influencer and the fraudster, the devoted mother in photos, and the woman accused of shooting her children. Which one was real? Maybe both. Maybe neither. So here's what we need to figure out. How does someone go from posting about their night out to shooting 4 kids at a gas station? What breaks inside a person to make that leap? Investigators think it might have been a breakdown, a psychotic episode, something that snapped in her mind. But Was it really that sudden, or were there signs nobody caught? Because when you go back through her social media, some of those posts read differently now. Cryptic messages, dark undertones, hints that something wasn't right. The problem is, nobody stopped scrolling long enough to notice. She was flaunting wealth she obtained through fraud, building a lifestyle on stolen identities and lies. That kind of pressure doesn't just disappear. It builds. It compounds. And her 4 children were caught in the middle of whatever was collapsing inside their mother. Oninda Ramelis might be the darkest example of that gap between appearance and reality. Drop a comment below. Have you ever known someone living a double life? Someone who seemed fine until they weren't? Make sure to hit that subscribe, because what comes next gets more complex. The fraud, the warning signs that were ignored, the investigation that's still active, the children who survived and what they might remember. Hit that like button if you're ready for this breakdown. Let's get into what really happened.
Yesterday, Brazoria County deputies responded to an unthinkable, unimaginable tragedy. This event has shaken our community, and we are all feeling the loss. While this remains an active investigation, I do want to share what details with you that I can at this point. Evidence indicates that the driver of the vehicle identifies as a 31-year-old Oninda Ramelis. She's the mother of the 4 children involved. All 4 children have sustained gunshot wounds. Sadly, a 13-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl did not survive. We are thankful to report that an 8-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl are now in stable condition. We believe that the evidence shows that this tragedy has occurred inside of the vehicle, and that Ramelis, the mother of the children, is a shooter. At 4:48 a.m. yesterday, Ramelis called the Brazoria County Sheriff's Office. When deputies arrived, they immediately began providing lifesaver measures to each children until medical help could arrive. The 2 surviving children were life-flighted into a Houston area hospital, where they remain in stable condition. Ramelis was later arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, with a total bond set at $14 million. Ramelis is a current resident of the Montgomery County here in Texas, where Sheriff Wesley Doolittle is the sheriff there of Montgomery County, and he is here with us today. His office has assisted us with investigative tasks that have taken place there in Montgomery County. Our investigators, along with responding agencies, continue to collect and analyze evidence in this case and in this ongoing investigation. I also want to thank the people of Brazoria County and our surrounding communities. The prayers, the messages and support shown for these children, and also for the first responders involved in this, mean more to us than what words can express. It is impossible to make sense of a senseless tragedy like this, but we will do everything we can to seek justice for these children. I will now open this up for a few questions. However, before I do want to be clear that there are still many details that cannot be released at this point, okay? So, you have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Jay Wan with KPRC. I was wondering if you happen to know exactly the location where the shooting took place?
Again, that is part of the ongoing investigation that we're still looking into. So,
you mentioned that she called 911. Can you explain a little bit more about that? At what point did that happen?
At what point did what happen? She called, yes, she called 911. I believe the time was, what, 4:48 a.m.? Is that what I said? Yep. Well, yes.
What did she say exactly when she called?
She called and our deputies responded. She called and she gave us information that we needed to come to her location. We didn't know exactly what we were responding to at the time.
I'm sorry, short classification. Can you share what investigators found at their home in Montgomery County? And that was their permanent residence there?
Yeah, that's exactly where her permanent residence was. Again, that's part of the ongoing investigation. That's where her residence was, so that's why we went to that residence.
Did she have any criminal history, or is there any?
Again, that's part of the ongoing investigation that we continue to look into, and I can assure you that we will do everything in our power to find justice for these children.
Have the two surviving children been interviewed, or are there plans to interview them and get an understanding of what they saw?
Can you ask your question again?
Have the two surviving children been interviewed, or is there plans to?
Yes, they have been interviewed. They're going to continue to cooperate as well. Yeah.
Is she a parent that has sole custody of the children?
I'm not going to mention much about the custody situation. There's a lot of things that are still it's an active investigation. Okay.
Sheriff, would you have an active investigation? We understand there's not a lot that you.
There really is not.
But a lot of folks are just wondering, what went wrong here?
Right.
Is there anything that you could share with us, just as far as what went wrong here?
Like I said, at this point, this is still an ongoing. However, what is most important is that our team is working on this. We've been burning the midnight oil on this ever since this dropped, right? So I can assure you we're looking into this, and there is a lot of stuff that is not able to be released at this point. So, all right. I got one more question.
One more question. I got to get you guys back to work.
Are you able to share what kind of weapons recovered, or was there a weapon recovered?
I'm still, like I said, it was a weapon that she did utilize, and she did shoot. I'm not going to tell you all the calibers and all the details of it. There's not time for that.
Hey folks, I'm sorry, I just said we had one more question left. I got to get these guys back to work. I'll answer any additional they have.
Any indication, you said that the mother lived in Montgomery County.
Yes.
Why was she in Brazoria? Can you release that information? What brought her here?
I can, again, that is part of the active and ongoing investigation that we're looking into. I apologize.
Thank you. All right, folks, I really appreciate you all coming down here, and I know we are not able to release a lot of information at this point. There's a lot of things that we can't speculate on as part of a criminal matter, but I just really appreciate you being down here. If you'd like, I'd be able to answer any of your questions, and I'll make sure to get that stuff in our release.
One question.
Yes.
What can you share with us today that you didn't know yesterday?
I think the biggest thing that we didn't have information of yesterday was where this event occurred. The sheriff did say it in his statement, but we do know that it did occur inside the vehicle at this point. Again, the specific locations, the specific weapons, that is all something that is still part of that ongoing investigation.
Was she taken in without incident?
I'm trying to think. I would say so, yes.
Can you spell her first and last name?
Absolutely. I actually don't have that in front of me. I apologize. I will put it in that release whenever I send it out to your respective agencies.
And she is in Brazoria County Jail.
Correct, yes. And she is on that $14 million bond.
What do we know about the motive?
The motive, I can't speculate on that right now. I can't speculate on that one right now. I do know that we are working and interviewing both her and any other witnesses involved to try to determine that.
In the press release, you guys mentioned something about individuals in custody involved in this case. What are we talking in plural?
I believe the phrasing of the press release was that all the individuals involved were detained. We've only actually taken one into custody. So, and by individuals involved, it was anyone who saw anything, any witnesses, etc., just to make sure that we got all that information. Any witnesses, a lot of them have actually already come forward, which is great. So.
We just believe that there's just one person involved in this matter, and this is the mother.
Yeah, as the sheriff said, the shooter is the mother in this case, and at least all the evidence that we currently have at this point points to that.
Just to clarify, you said the call was made at 4:48 a.m.?
Yes, a.m., correct.
Is there any information on who will be taking custody of the two surviving children?
No, not at this time.
And it was a 13-year-old boy, 3-year-old girl?
Yes, yesterday it was 4 p.m., or the age was listed as 4, and that was my fault. did some bad math. Apologies on that. But yes, very, very sadly, a 3-year-old.
And all 4 of those kids were her kids?
That is our understanding, is that she was the mother of all 4.
13-year-old boy, 4-year-old girl, and then what are the genders of the other 2 that you know?
I don't want to swap them. I know it was a boy and a girl, but let me confirm on which age had which.
Do you know, did they like as far as the kids, were they like attending like a specific school district? Do you know what age is that information been?
I don't have that one offhand. If that can be released, I'll put it in our press release.
The suspect, African American, white, Hispanic.
African American female, age 31.
Is she cooperating in the investigation? Is she being forthright?
Yes, that's a great question. I would say that she has been interviewed. That is the way I would answer that question. Any others?
She doesn't have any criminal history?
Not any that I can release at this point. Yes. Not that I'm aware of. Any other questions?
And the bond, just to confirm, 14 million, you said?
Yes, 14 million total for all 4 charges. So the 2 murder charges were both set at a $5 million bond, and then the charges for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon were each set at $2 million.
And the 2 surviving children are still in the hospital? And you said stable condition?
They are in stable condition. My understanding is that they're still receiving medical treatment, but I haven't verified that in a number of hours. So.
Do we know which hospital?
Houston area is what I have.
Has the suspect, has she already like appeared before a judge, or is she just in custody at this point?
She would have had to be magistrated to receive her bond amounts, so she should have appeared before a judge, at least in that capacity. Any other questions? All right, folks, thank you, and thank you for your patience. I really appreciate you. And if I'll be available as you guys take down if you think of anything. Thanks.
So where is Oninda Ramalis right now? She's in custody, held on a $14 million bond, one of the highest you'll see in cases like this. 2 counts of capital murder for the children who died that night at the gas station. 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for the 2 who survived but remain in critical condition. Prosecutors aren't holding back. They're considering the death penalty. But there's a catch. She has to be found competent to stand trial first. Investigators believe she may have experienced a breakdown or a psychotic episode that night, something that caused her mind to fracture. That evaluation will determine whether this case goes to trial or takes a different path. No official motive has been released yet. The investigation is ongoing. They're still collecting evidence, still searching for answers about a possible 5th child. The 2 survivors face a recovery that goes beyond their physical injuries. The trauma of what happened, what their mother did, will follow them forever. This case doesn't offer clean answers. It leaves you with questions that don't go away. How does a mother look at her children and pull the trigger? Was it the weight of living multiple lives? The stress of fraud catching up to her? A mind that broke under invisible pressure? We may never fully understand what happened inside Oninda's head that day, but we know 4 children didn't choose any of this. They didn't ask to be born into their mother's chaos. They didn't create the fraud or the double life. 2 of them are gone, permanently. The other 2 will carry physical and emotional wounds for the rest of their lives. Brazoria County, Texas won't forget that gas station, that night, those children. And if you scroll through Oninda's Instagram right now, those posts are still there, frozen in time. The designer bags, the happy hours, the smiles, a version of her that existed while something darker was growing underneath. Or maybe that version never existed at all. Maybe it was always performance, always facade. This case hit hard, and I know it's heavy. What do you think happened here? Was this a breakdown, or is there more to the story? What state or country are you watching from? Drop your location and your thoughts in the comments. If you want updates as this case moves to trial, subscribe and turn on notifications. Hit that like button if this breakdown gave you perspective. Share this video because these children's stories need to be remembered as more than headlines. Stay aware. Stay safe. Look out for each other. Thanks for watching.